Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again. Wanted to put out a quick ExileCon video. Not that quick, but I'm going to do my best to speed run through it and basically just give you the point of view of me, Mathel1, streamer POV, of basically how I went to ExileCon, everything I did, a few little thoughts and feelings and stuff, but for the most part I just want to run down the entire event for you from my point of view. And so you can get a glimpse of what that thing is like for someone like me. So yeah, gonna go pretty fast, but there's gonna be a lot of it. So to begin with, I left on a Thursday night. For me, that's like 7 or 8 p.m. flight, and the idea was to fly in at midnight, stay at the hotel in the morning, check in at like 1 a.m. or some shit, spend all of Friday doing whatever I wanted, which was going to be climbing, and then do the VIP dinner at night, and then do a couple of days of ExileCon, do some climbing on Monday, VIP dinner on Monday, and then Tuesday I had most of the day to myself, and then fly out. That was the plan. So flew out on Qatar Airways, something like 7 or 8 p.m. Business class. I do typically try and go for that now if it's not too costly. It's about $2,500 there and back, Australian return flight, 4-hour flight, and yeah, it's pretty worth it. I would recommend if you can, but it's business trip, thus business expense, can make it cheaper, bit of a write-off. And just one picture from that flight was the entree that I had, just a series of dips. Watched Thor movie, Love and Thunder or whatever. It was pretty crap, but yeah, not too much to mention. For the most part, there's going to be a bunch of talking, not much visual aid in this one. I did not take many photos. I pretty much just went around and got photos taken with everyone. Very little focus on myself. So flew in, got there at around midnight. It was like an hour going through the customs for New Zealand because there was a lot of people there, even at like 1 a.m. Got to the hotel. The hotel said they didn't have my booking, which GGG put us up for, until the next day. So that night, I apparently did not have a booking. I flew in with my friend, however, who's like as normie as it comes, basically. He wanted to see the whole spectacle of ExileCon and me being a bit of a celebrity, something like that. And so his booking was there, he was fine, so I just stayed in his room together until the next day, because apparently that's when my booking was kicking in, so I would have had nowhere to sleep that night, and I'm not sure what the fuck I would have done. Either way, we got there, slept at night, yeah, kind of okay, woke up in the morning, and I contacted Quinn before he did any streaming or anything, and went and grabbed a coffee with him. First time I was seeing him that weekend. Met Abby, so the three of us went and grabbed a coffee, and just chilled for about an hour or so. Talked a bit. Everyone went back to their hotels. Everyone kind of chilled for a bit. And then I wanted to go climbing and do an IRL climbing stream. My idea was to do climbing with the ANZ IRL backpack. So our partner manager was going to bring that over. He did bring it over, but there was like an issue with the SIM, International Sims, some shit like that, which couldn't get sorted out. So I didn't have an IRL streaming backpack at the time. And Ziz was going to have one as a backup, but his was getting like stuck in customs. So the only one that I could have used was Quinn's. So we did some IRL climbing stream with a bunch of the other streamers and stuff on Quinn's backpack and through his stream. So I'll go over that in a separate video, but that was pretty good. That was pretty fun. Did that for a few hours. Went back to hotels and stuff. Everyone got kind of cleaned up. And then we went to the VIP dinner. That's where there's about 250 people, devs, people, some streamers, some other developers and stuff, some other special guests. Big Brazilian meat place and stuff. And you basically go there, sit down at a long table. There's lots and lots of long tables. Get meat brought to you on some skewers and stuff, sliced off. other little dishes, entrees, that sort of thing. I basically spent that entire 2 hour evening talking to, well, not the entire 2 hour evening, the like 3 or 4 hour evening, but yeah, I spent talking to Crip, Rania, a few of the VIP ticket holders. That it was lovely to meet them, and also one of the developers that sat across from me, who was the graphics rendering guy, Alex, and he was lovely. Spent a lot of time talking to him. He was very passionate and interesting individual. And then, yeah, I'm going to watch that talk a bit later. Apparently went very well. So then after that, yeah, didn't want to stay out too late and went home and slept for the evening because, yeah, next day is pretty early. Got to be there at Saturday morning, check in at like 8 a.m. so that we can do some sort of small rehearsal and also get makeup and whatever. So I did have a few events on this for ExileCon because basically I was reached out to and said, do you want to do anything? And I said, I'll do whatever you want me to. And they just put me in a few panels and stuff, which is lovely, something to do, but it is very nerve-wracking. I did not really like particularly want to do too much, but if I was asked to, then I was willing to face tank it and just do it for the greater good. So it's kind of good that I was asked, but yeah, I was a bit nervous about doing the whole panels and stuff because especially before show, first thing of the day basically, and it's before there's even an announcement, and we just have to kind of like waffle on and to more on that end. Basically looks something like this if you missed out on it, where what 8 a.m. or some shit, taken to backstage and, you know, run through a few things, but mostly just get some makeup done one at a time for a few minutes to remove some anti-glare on your face because there's going to be lights and stuff. And yeah, there's a call room back there and we're just chatting amongst ourselves and a few other developers and stuff. I will also mention that throughout this, I seem to have gotten some kind of vertigo. So on the plane flight there, I was sitting backwards in my seat. The seat up in the business area was backwards, and there was a bit of turbulence, and ever since I got off the plane, I felt a bit nauseous and a bit shaky, and it was definitely, I think, some kind of vertigo action because it was not lovely, and a lot of rooms were spinning for me basically for the next 4 days. So I like popped some Nurofen, Panadol, that sort of thing, and did my best to just keep going. So for this panel, we were supposed to just kind of make some predictions and just, you know, stall a bit, waffle on a bit, try and keep it pretty light, pretty entertaining. We did talk about whether or not we were going to like mention Diablo 4 and anything like that. And we weren't too sure. They didn't really have any requirements. We just needed to be run through like one or two things that we maybe shouldn't say based on what they're about to announce. So the Diablo 4 stuff, you know, doesn't really matter. It was just lighthearted, fun jokes and stuff. And yes, there were a nice couple of little Diablo 4 jokes. So we went ahead and did that, but otherwise pretty nice panel. ZKD kept it running. And then we got taken to our seats, or we got to go inside about 5 minutes before the start, pick a seat somewhere and watch the reaction, or, you know, react to the entire actual Keystone, whatever announcement you want to call it. And we were told around the supporter pack time, we'd have to get pulled back out and start setting up for the post show, because I was doing that as well. So big announcements, very pog. Everyone's pretty happy with what was going on. We then went outside, and the next part for us started, which is the post show table thing, couch co-op, and started talking about what we'd seen. And everyone by this point is walking around pretty excited and sussing out what the event has to offer, because that would basically be the first time they're allowed to walk around throughout the entire floors and start doing things like checking out the PCs, being able to log on, play, do some of the own demo yourself, play the card game, merch line, just check out all the crazy stuff happening, the art and everything, and also PoE mobile stuff. I'm not sure if any meet and greets started yet, but there was going to be plenty of meet and greet action throughout the day, mostly for like developers and a few other streamers and stuff. But yeah, by the time we got around to, you know, the second little discussion thing, I was a lot less nervous because things had already happened, and basically it was just going to be 20 to 30 minutes of just talking about what we'd seen. So it was pretty set in stone, and I didn't have to think too much, just say a few things, so I wasn't that nervous anymore by that point. But I didn't have anything else on for the rest of the day after this, so basically just started walking around after this was over and just meeting people. A lot of people were coming up and saying, "Hi, Mathil, favorite streamer or streamer I liked, or I like your builds, like your cosplays, you got me into climbing." That sort of stuff is the typical stuff that was happening. A lot of selfies, a lot of people just, you know, saying, "Can you take a photo for us?" A few little signatures and stuff, but for the most part, it was mostly just a few selfies and lots of meeting people. So I had the next like 4 or 5 hours free to myself, and that was largely just, yeah, doing some rounds, talking to people. I did actually have the demo playthrough like 3 hours later. Sorry, that wasn't entirely to myself that day. And yeah, the demo playthrough was a bit later. So that was going to be my first look at PoE. I wasn't going to do a demo outside of this myself. I was just going to wait for the whole live thing. This would be my first look at it. So basically what happened is, you know, eventually I had to go find or go get brought backstage and get a bit more makeup done, whatever, run through of what's going to happen. I was told that some other people had done, we've already seen like Act 1, 2, 3. We had yet to see Act 4, and it's best that I pick Act 4 and do the warrior. I didn't have to, but it's probably best I do that. So I did end up just sitting there for a while, and I clicked a few buttons because I was like trying to see if I could change the mouse sensitivity. It logged me out of like the demo client, and it took us a few extra minutes to log back in with some sort of, you know, other thing. And that's why it started a bit later than it should have. So we did pick the warrior and started going through the demo. I got pretty punished, pretty damn, you know, quickly, died to the first pack. It's pretty tough to get used to the controls with mouse that was way less sensitive than I wanted, as well as that it's a different game basically. It does feel different. You do have just a different feel, like vibe, and you can see I run through all of the gear, and if you actually look at all the gear and stuff close enough throughout this, the characters they set you up with are trash. So it is not a good situation to be in, and take it for what it's worth. I'll have another video talking about PoE 1, PoE 2 and my impressions and all of this, but we were basically set up to fail at these higher levels with some pretty weak characters, and yeah, it's my faith about PoE 2 is still there completely. I had a bit of a tough time on the demo, but I was also having to kind of speed run because I was running out of time. So at some point, like, I just started having to try and run through everything quickly because I did not have time. I was off camera given like a few minute signal, and I had yet to see a boss or anything. So I was just like running through, and yeah, as you can see. So I find the boss, and as soon as I find the boss, I've got like 30 seconds before I'm supposed to go off air. And at that point, I'm like, oh shit, let's see what I can do. Let's fucking... You know, what's this boss doing? Oh, it's crazy. And then I basically intentionally died just to end the stream. So, you know, I'm not that trash, but I still had a bit of a I'm being trash experience. But I did try and speed up the whole end there so that we could fly off to the next segment. Then I just spent another couple of hours walking around and doing, you know, bit of extra meeting of people action, so there's nothing more to say to that. What we then had was a good, just whatever you wanted to do evening. I think that night actually we had the Twitch ANZ partner meeting thing, so our representative organized a partner get together at a bar somewhere. It was pretty much open invite to any Twitch partners, but it wasn't too widely known about. It was more about the ANZ community. So went there with Quinn, my friend, my IRL friend as well, and we couldn't immediately get in because Quinn was wearing shorts, and I'm like, yo, you probably need some pants. But yeah, that eventually got sorted out. We got let in. A bunch of people in there, mostly partners and stuff, and we just all talked and chatted and drank for a while and that sort of thing, and it was a decent evening. Then went home, and in the morning we had a second day of ExileCon, and that's when I would have had to do my meet and greet. Quinn did IRL streaming of the whole thing that day and the previous day, but it was pretty chill that day. And also had to do a streamer roundtable with Zizaran, Khan, and Noogie as well. So I had a couple events on that day, but for the most part, just cared about the meet and greet, and it's a bit nerve-wracking getting to meet everyone and seeing a big line, but love to see it. Other than that, yeah, still just walked around and did another play demo of the Sorceress, which was a nicer experience than the Warrior for me. It felt a bit easier, felt a bit chiller, and had different feel to it for like gameplay sense for PoE 2. Definitely felt like it made a bit more sense to me. The meet and greet was upstairs at the top level, and it was with me and Quinn together, so I didn't really know how that worked, but they ran us through it. Basically, yep, we'd be at the same table and people would come up and like individually meet us, or they could meet us together. Basically, for the most part, pretty much everyone met both of us and went, yep, love both of you guys, let's get a photo with both of you guys. Pretty big line that went all the way around, and that's always kind of mind-blowing to see. But yep, Quinn IRL streamed it as well, so you can have a look at that VOD if you want to see what the meet and greet's like, what our little vibe check is like, and just overall how this interaction goes and how everyone looks, right? How all the PoE players and fans are out there, and it was a pretty good time. Like, we had, I don't know, an hour or so to try and get to everyone, and we definitely couldn't. Our line was pretty substantial. We even extended it by as much as we could, which was like an extra 15 or 20 minutes. They eventually just cut people off and said, they have to move on to the next developer thing or some shit. And we went around back and did more signing, more meet and greet sort of thing. And then after that, went down and just chilled at the cafe. So yep, plenty of signing action there. Talked to plenty of people after, spent like another 30 minutes doing that. Then we went downstairs and just chilled at a cafe, and also IRL streamed that. And just had some coffees and some conversation stuff. So that's Quinn, that's his main moderator, Instability. That's my IRL friend that has nothing to do with PoE, just likes going to the event and seeing the spectacle. And there's me. So yeah, good stuff there, good content there to watch if you feel like seeing something like that, the meet and greet or the IRL stuff. And yeah, that basically concludes day 2, and that was just a bit of ExileCon. It went through pretty fucking fast, and it was really fun. What else did I have for pictures? I just showed, like, this is essentially the line. It like snaked around and stuff, pretty crazy stuff. And yeah, that evening there wasn't much going on. Do kind of whatever you wanted. And then there's an after party, which went from 8 to 11. So for dinner, we went with to a nice Japanese place right next to our hotel, with Quinn, my friend, Crip and Rania, Instability, Noogie, and Abby. Yeah, I think that's right. Sat down for a few hours, showed up fashionably late to the after party. Once we got to the after party, we were, for the most part, like hanging around outside where there's kind of drinking area. Went inside just a little bit, Once we got there and hang around outside, a lot of people basically swarmed us and were going for conversations and photos and still last minute signings of stuff. When I went inside to try and take a piss, I basically got stun locked for like 50 minutes. I'm just going inside. I'm gonna go take a piss. Someone's like, "Oh, hey, Mathel," and talk to them, get a photo or something, and then a whole bunch of other people basically started lining up from every angle because of that. And so then 50 minutes later, I managed to take a piss. I'm just like, my bladder. I tried to leave several times, and every time a few more people would swarm, but it's all good. It was good fun. Went back outside, talked to a bunch of people again outside for a while, still more meet and greets and stuff, and it was a good time. Went until about 11, got shut down. After that, we went to, what was it, Sunday night. I think we just went into the casino for a little bit, for a bit of fun, if I can remember correctly. Yeah. Just to keep the night going for like another 30 minutes, lost like 50 bucks, just played a bit of blackjack, and then went back home to the hotel, slept, woke up in the morning. Very chill day that day. Basically, the whole convention's over, but there's the Ultra VIP dinner, which is at Jonathan's house, and that's in the evening. So for that day planned, had climbing to do and more IRL streaming through Quinn's backpack on Quinn's stream, and that was good stuff. We went to the other big bouldering gym for that one. Like I said, we'll do another video just talking strictly about the climbing we did, but to give you a quick idea of what the gym looked like, it was something like this. Only a couple hours or so of IRL streaming here. Go away. Because we didn't have much time until the evening for the Ultra VIP thing, so I stayed for an extra hour or so, but these guys went off and did an escape room real quick before the Ultra VIP dinner. The climbing was good, huge gym, and everyone had a good time. That second session was with Steel Mage, Quinn, Instability, Noogie, and Local Identity. So we did all of that. We bailed, and then we got on a shuttle and went to the Ultra VIP dinner. That thing is a pretty chill event. Food just keeps constantly coming out. They make the food there. Jonathan, wife, and some catering people. There's just some developers, some GGG developers, people that paid for the tickets, which is maybe about 15 people, and then some streamers. That's basically what the event is over there. And we sat outside. For the most part, like I sat outside talking to a few people around the fireplace because it was a pretty chill evening in the end, and I just liked being around the fire, so I talked to Preach a lot, really cool dude. Talked to Crip a bunch, as usual. Quinn a lot. Let's see. Those are the main notable people that you guys would know. Otherwise, did talk to plenty of VIP ticket holders. Very little interaction with proper developers. Talked to a Last Epoch guy for a while. Bex for a bit. Chris's partner Steph for a bit. And yeah, just said hi to Chris basically by the end of it. That was the first time I saw Chris that entire evening, that entire weekend. He's constantly being swarmed. He is the, like, not just Ultra VIP, not just VIP, just the god of the event. And, like, you should see his lines, you should see his crowds. He's just swarmed everywhere. And he'll hang around after the ExoCon for, like, hours at a time to just, meet people and sign shit and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. I let that happen, and I made sure I was taking up none of his time, basically. Near the end of the evening, I did say hi to him, and we got a photo together with Chris and Crip. And yeah, that was basically the evening. Aside from that, there is not much else to mention, I don't think. So that happened. We got on a shuttle, went back. A few of us went to the casino because it's right next to us. And yeah, went to sleep, woke up, pretty much everyone's gone already. I had most of Tuesday to myself, and then just walked around the shops and sort of Auckland a bit. Nothing too special. Popped a quick selfie. That was my walking around Auckland look. And yeah, then went to the airport. The airport was fucked. It took like an hour to just get through the check-in. Then sat around for a couple hours at the lounge. Looked a little something like this. Quick video of it. So it's business class stuff. Still a huge novelty to me because I don't do this often. You can eat all kinds of food and drink whatever you want and all that. I typically don't do much of that because I try to have kind of a light, empty stomach since digestion's an issue for me. But yeah, then got on the plane, flew back in, showed up at like, I don't know, 10 p.m. or something, went to sleep, and then woke up really fucking tired and busted out a stream, recapping, talking about stuff, and here we are, making this video. So I think that's pretty much all I should say, all I need to say. I'll try and wrap it up and start another stream. But yeah, ExileCon was fucking amazing. Again, like the highlight of it is basically the fact that you are a PoE nerd and you can talk PoE nerd stuff with anyone there. The people that went will know what I'm talking about. That's just the kind of vibe that's out there. Like, it's not a TwitchCon or a BlizzCon or some shit where people are going for all these different individual reasons. Everyone's there because they love Path of Exile, and everyone you can talk to will talk Path of Exile with you happily. So that shit's cool, and yeah. Good time to be a PoE fan, I say. So I'll have another video about climbing, have another video probably about the impressions about the PoE 1 and 2 stuff. Otherwise, that was my weekend. Hopefully it was insightful to know what I did, how I did it, etc. If not, I'm sorry. The content's there anyway. Yep. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you next time.